Monster Hunter Rise has now arrived on GeForce Now, and I'm here to give you a quick preview of what the experience is like while playing in Ultrawide. To get things started, let's take a look at the in-game settings, all of which are set to high. The resolution is 3440 by 1440p, 21 by 9 aspect ratio, and the only settings I've disabled are things like depth of field, motion blur, and film grain. So let's get right to it by talking about the frame rate you can expect out of the ultimates here. Unsurprisingly, you're going to be hitting well over 100 frames almost all of the time, and that's because this game isn't that demanding to begin with. After all, it is a Switch port. But I gotta admit, it's a really good one, and there's a lot of PC-focused features that they've added. I even hopped on into a random lobby for multiplayer action to see if the frame rate would dip with more players involved, but no. The frame rate itself keeps up and is just a smooth experience to view. But now let's touch a bit more on the visual aspect. As I said, this is originally a game made for the Switch, but the game still manages to look pretty impressive. Sure, not all aspects of Rise hold a candle to Monster Hunter World, which came out previously. But it's still Monster Hunter at its core, and all the design elements that make up what Monster Hunter looks like are still here. Great level design and environmental art, cool armor sets, and sick monsters to battle. It really does just never get old. The truth is when I find myself playing Rise, I don't really think about how much better World looked. The only thing I do miss is the sense of scale, which definitely feels a bit reduced here. But let's keep it real, the Monster Hunter franchise has never really been about its visuals, more so its gameplay, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. And I'm more than happy to say that this is by far the best gameplay that they've ever implemented in a Monster Hunter title. Seriously, it's fantastic. It plays good, it feels good, and all the changes they've made just make so much sense. The introduction of the palicos make traversal much faster for those getting started, but as soon as you find out how the wire bugs work, you'll become a speed demon monster hunting machine. Now for those who've never played a Monster Hunter game, expect a lot of boss fights because that's pretty much what it is. It's boss fight after boss fight where you gather their loot and then make weapons and gear out of their remains. It's an insanely addicting gameplay loop, and if you get into it, you will be sucked in. Now I will point out that a game like this only works if the latency is right, and I'm happy to report that yeah, it seems to be working extremely well. I've actually connected to a closer server now because Midwest servers are now live. Heads up, that's news if nobody knew, but I'll talk more about it in tomorrow's GFN Thursday. Be sure to subscribe to not miss out on that. Either way, latency feels spot on at even 40 ms. Anything below that, probably even smoother, but I can tell you right now, this is my third time playing the game. I played it a bit on Switch, played it on Game Pass via my local PC, and now I'm playing it on GeForce Now. I can't feel a difference whatsoever. This feels like I'm playing on my local PC, and truthfully, better than the Switch due to the higher frame rate. And for a game like this, latency does matter, because its moment-to-moment gameplay, especially later on, becomes very important when evading huge attacks. It's great to see that a game like this works so well via the cloud. Now as for my overall thoughts, should you pick up Monster Hunter Rise to play on GeForce Now Ultimate? If you have even the slightest interest in Monster Hunter, absolutely don't miss out on this. In my opinion, it's easily the best entry into the franchise, and it's the type of game you can sink hundreds of hours into. Not to mention, I think it's a perfect game for cloud gaming, not only because you can play it on your big screen TV, your ultra-wide monitor, or your laptop, but it's also really great on the go. It was designed for the Switch after all, but unlike the Switch, cloud gaming doesn't need to give up on frame rate or resolution to make it run. Now aside from that, I think there's also something to be said that this is the first game that Capcom has brought to GeForce Now, as it may just be a way of them testing the waters to see how much game sales increase when they put a game on GFN. I'm really happy it's Rise because it's the game I wanted to see most out of their catalog, but I think it's more than fair to say that there's a lot of people hoping to see the likes of something like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, or even the newest Street Fighter make its way over. All I'm gonna say is that if you fall into the category of enjoying Monster Hunter while also wanting to see more Capcom games on GFN, maybe consider picking this one up to show your support while playing it through GFN. I know I've said it a lot in recent videos, but I really do believe we're at a tipping point for cloud gaming and GFN as a service. I think the Xbox announcement is just the beginning of what's to come, and I'm super excited for what lies ahead. But before I start getting too off topic, Monster Hunter Rise on GeForce Now is well worth your time. It looks great and plays great, and on GFN Ultimate, it really is an amazing experience. Now if you enjoyed this video at all or found it helpful, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. If you have any remaining questions about Monster Hunter Rise or GeForce Now Ultimate for that matter, leave it down in the comment section below and I'll answer what I can. As always, thank you for watching, hope you have a great day. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.